Alright. So, hey guys, it's probably been a little while since you've heard my voice, and there's not really an excuse other than I've been living my life. And we're not here to talk about my personal life, though. We're here to look at this. Look at Nolan made something. It's a miracle. Yeah. This is Dinosaurus from Invincible, which is a pretty good comic book. You should read it if you can. There's probably an image of him on the screen. Oh, look at, whoa, he's cool. Whoa, cool design. There's the one by Glenn Webb. Whoa, he's ripping a dude in half. Gross. So, this guy took a while to make, not because it was a super complicated thing to make, just because I'm lazy. Life gets in the way. It's hard to make stuff when you got a job and you got school and you got like all this stuff going on, right? And then like oh no, suddenly medical stuff gets in the way, and then all this good stuff happens, and it becomes hard after a while. So I'm really sorry about that. Of course, I'm not really talking about my medical stuff. I'm talking about other. I'm not saying I put a small family of people in a hospital, but I may have put a small. Anyway, so this guy came from a couple different kit bashed figures. Mainly, it was a Ken Barbie doll, and then all the detail was I used cardboard and Play-Doh. Actually, this is all Sharpied on. It had been sitting on my desk for like a year, not doing anything, and I kind of just decided, you know what? I gotta break out the Crayola crayons, and I gotta finish this dude. You know, believe that if you want to. It's probably not true. Like, I would show you guys how I painted it or whatever, but I did kind of lose that footage. So here's a dramatic recreation of that.
Hello, my dear friends. I'm so happy, oh, lucky me. I just go my way, living every day. I don't worry not to dream. Things that bother you never bother me. Things that bother you never bother me. I feel happy and fine, ha-ha. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. Having got a lot, I don't need a lot, coffee's only a dime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. Just think about me, I'm just as free as any daughter. I do what I like, just what I like, and how I love it. I'm right here to say.
Oh god, dude, I think it still makes noise. Yeah, that's fairly accurate. That's exactly how it happened. But before we get into articulation in this figure, I'm gonna show you his accessories, which is this. And this creation I'm not really extremely proud of. I literally threw it together in one night. Like, not joking when I say I threw it together in one night. I was looking at this guy, right, and I just kind of thought, you know, he could use a base because he's big and I don't want him falling over. So this is just that like purple, there you go, purple foam stuff you could buy at Home Depot, right? And I just painted it black and then dry brushed on, like red here, blue here, yellow here, and then green over here. I don't know what I was going for. I know in the comics he like destroys Las Vegas, so maybe this is part of Las Vegas. But there's like a lost dog sign, and there's like a newspaper in the water, which you can't see. I had a problem with this. I should have painted the thing first, and then this is just that like Enviro light, or Enviro text. Nolan, insert image so I don't look stupid. It said like Invincible killed on news. The pipes were made out of like, I think this one was, actually, yeah, they were both part of a mechanical pencil that I just cut up. And then, we must go deeper. We must go deeper, camera. Have we reached maximum clarity? There we go. See, there's like a little bit of like hot glue here, which I dripped down, right, to make that little like stream of water. It's great, it looks nice. These pieces were just literally wires that I stabbed in here and painted gold. They're rebar, I guess. And then there's all this destroyed rubble and stuff. And then of course there's this. This is where his foot goes. This is where his foot goes, guys. And there's just holes at the bottom of his feet where his plugs into it. The problem with Dinosaurus is that there's a few different artists that have drawn him. There's two different looks. There's this look where he's kind of got like the pieces of armor, and then there's the look where he's just got like a pair of pants on. That's the look that most customizers go with because it's simpler, but hey, you know, I like to draw things out and take as long as possible. So I went with this design. The problem with it was that it's a lot like Superior Spider-Man in that each panel, the design changes like a whole bunch. Like 1 minute, these things just come to a point sometimes, and then sometimes they've got this little flattened bottom, sometimes there's bolts here, sometimes there aren't, and it changes a lot. So I just kind of went with my own rendition based on what I've seen. The shoulder plates were I just kind of had to go with my own design. Doing this part seemed like it was going to be difficult because I thought I was going to sculpt it, but then I put pennies in there. That's right, pennies. So I don't know if that's a federal crime. And then of course for like the skin texture, I started painting it black. That's how I do well with my figures. I paint them black and then I just dry brush on with very lightly, and I do a few coats. I did a red, of course, with him because he's red, and it turned out it's a lot brighter in person. The camera renders it weird. For the spines on him, I got kind of a yellow, almost like what Milliput is, like a yellow skin tone almost. And then his eyes were kind of a reddish brown, and I finished those up by just putting a dot of super glue in there to give him that shine. And then his teeth were just white, and he has a tongue. And then the inside of his mouth is kind of pink, and the tongue is a different color of pink. And it started life as one of those weird like dollar store biting dinosaur toys, you know? One of the artist renditions, he kind of had these scales running up his arm, right? Which I kind of liked. So I kind of incorporated those into my design, which was pretty much a conglomeration of every design. His tail in some renditions was just like a single like color. Some of it had like scales on the bottom, but I just went with the uniform color. And the armor pieces, I kind of went for, they look kind of rough. I made them so that they would look like they've been weathered and they've been broken down a bit. I took a few notches out of like circle piece up here, a few scratches there, as you can see. Now for the articulation on the figure, the head is able to move completely around, as well as it having a hinge in here that lets it move down and up, and there's also a separate hinge in the neck. Actually, it's better if I just take it off and show you. The ball joint was just kind of done with a Bionicle piece and then an old Revoltech that I glued on there, and that gives it the rotation here, as well as being able to go side to side and up and down. And then it also has the hinge in here, which ends on a swivel joint up in the head. Then the jaw itself hinges up and down, and the tongue is actually on its own little Revoltech joint in there, as you can see. That allows it to go up and down, and it kind of gives it side to side, which is good if you want to give it like a roaring pose. Engineering that was a little bit of a pain because I couldn't figure out how to get it to work, and I'm not very good at engineering. Since it has that joint in there, you can finagle it around so that his jaw is open and he's roaring. His tongue is sticking out, you know, like. The next part was the shoulder pads, which for these, oh please don't break, there we go. I did these on double ball joints, as you can see, and this allows it so that not only can the shoulder move up all the way, the shoulder pads don't get in the way, so you can move these. So this allows it so that you can hinge this down and therefore move the arm up the full way. It works better on this side. I don't know why, it turned out that way. See? But the arms don't move up very far anyway, so it's whatever. The arms also have upper arm rotation all the way, and a double jointed elbow. The hands had swivels and like an ankle. Yeah, that's his ankle, dude. It's a dinosaur, dude. Dude was the dinosaur, dude. Dinosaurs had ankles in their hands. True story. They had a thing, swivel hinge, who cares. They had a diaphragm joint that works pretty well. And then we have the dreaded Y-jointed hips, which I don't like these, I hate them, but it was the only thing I had, which let the legs move out like a full 90, as well as having the upper leg swivel, of course. Then they had double jointed knees, which actually do work very well, especially for a character like Dinosaurus, who you need to get in a lot of dynamic poses. They have hinges down here at the actual ankle. Well, these are ankles too, of course, as we went over, but which lets it move forward a lot and a lot back. It also has the ankle pivot, which is great. I love that. And then for the feet, I actually used, like for the toes, I actually used the Lego, the crotch piece from a Lego guy. And that let the toes move up and down. There's his articulation. Big oaf. Now for a few size comparisons. 10 inches, 25 centimeters, 6, 3, Sonic, Gecko, Dalek. Okay, I love you, bye-bye.